We would like to burn it all down. The whole bloody system, just burn it all to the ground. We're tired of the lies, the scandals, the corruption, the news media and their biased sensationalized reporting of what people laughingly call the news. The whole electoral process has been turned into a circus filled with backstabbing, slanderous, corrupt clowns, most of which are unfit to even run a fast food restaurant. America, wake the fuck up. Wake up and open your eyes and look around. You don't live in a democracy anymore. The political parties and the corporations that control this country have not allowed for an independent voice to be heard for more than a century. When was the last time in this country that the majority of the people actually wanted a tax increase? How many of you wanted an increase in the salary of those claimed to represent us? In a true democracy the majority rules, and yet that majority cannot get what it wants because of the lobbyists and the corporations and the elected officials that more often than not vote the party line rather than the will of the people they are supposed to represent, and that is not what we the people elected them to do. This election we have a choice between Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and believe us when we say, that is not much of a choice. Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, any other third-party candidate or independent candidates have no chance that their voice will be heard among the people in America. We really need to get away from the party system that controls who we vote for like some bad card trick. The Queen of Diamonds or the Joker seems to be the only choices here. Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party, despite the lies, scandals, voter manipulation, and potential conflict of interest, is really the only clear choice being offered to America for the office of president. For the most part they have run a very positive campaign, it seems to be, on the surface, inclusive of all America. How that works out in reality remains to be seen. She clearly has the experience to at least keep us on that gradual incline toward a national recovery from the mess the Republicans and President Bush created a decade ago. Donald Trump and the Republican Party is just a bunch of scandalous, lying, racist, bigoted sacks of shit who would rather keep criminals and terrorists armed than given to background checks that would help keep America safer from the psychotics and zealots we keep seeing in the news almost daily. The Republican candidate, Donald Trump, has got to be the biggest pile of crap we have ever seen. He is the poster child for white supremacists and religious zealots everywhere. How the Republicans let a man who is being investigated for fraud even submit his name for candidacy just boggles our mind. His tax policies do nothing of any real significance to help the average American, but they do plenty to help enrich corporate America, and the probably more than 500 corporations Donald Trump is tied to. Trump does not care about the little man in America. He has proved this time and time again, defrauding investors, contractors, craftsmen, and everyday Americans. It's one of the reasons why he is being investigated for fraud. The conflict of interest alone should have disqualified Donald Trump. A huge chunk of his $650 million debt is from foreign banks backed by Russian and Chinese money. He owes so many banks money in America, the Russians and the Chinese are the only ones left who will loan him money. Donald Trump has no experience in government, economic policy, foreign policy, government institutions, or understanding of current military affairs, but he does have a vast amount of experience in dodging taxes, failed businesses, and bankruptcies, where he gets rich, and other poor suckers are left to pick up the tab for his failures as a businessman, and as a human being. Now, he is attempting to influence the election process through false allegations and voter intimidation, as if the Republican efforts to restrict voter access weren't enough. If ever there was an option to reject all the candidates for president during a general election, this election might be it. And people ask us why we would like to burn the whole system down and start over again. Just look at the fucked up mess this election has been. Wouldn't you like to just burn the whole thing down too? Just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, we decided to add a little bit more clutter. We went out and found a not-so-random person to run for president as a write-in candidate. We proposed to put forth the name of Ronald Bryan Chandler, author, artist, construction worker, and an American dreamer, as our write-in candidate for President of the United States. Yes, we know it's crazy, and yes, he knows it's crazy too. This is all part of a story that you the reader are already part of, so why not go all the way and immerse yourself in a tale that can change the world, if you the reader really want it to. In the coming days, you will meet Ronald and you will discover he's just like the rest of us, struggling to make ends meet, keeping a roof over his head, food on the table, and waging war on a pile of bills that keep piling up, an everyday average American struggling to get by who cannot be bought by corporate America or influenced by the political system. Our goal is to protect the American people, and to defend and preserve our rights, and to fight to regain that which has been lost to the people through time. We are the New American Revolution freedom fighters.